Our job is to say, how do we take you from 7 or 3 or 4 to 5 or 6? And then if you keep using us, you'll grow your business or you'll get more liquidity. You can then grow it over time. It's really around understanding the needs of the customer at a liquidity level and then using digital solutions through our channel partners to give them that liquidity. I'm Andy Milne, sort of Group CEO of Kuunda Group, a UK-based Fintech operating in Africa and now in Pakistan. This is my 4th startup, gone across sort of specialized verticals. So I've always been in the tech sector. First business was a healthcare startup in 1999, so it was before mobile phones, so it was with the internet. And we really set up a business to use the internet to deliver specialized services around the world. That business started in South Africa and we then launched it in the US. And it's now, the Virgin Group actually bought it, and it operates under the Virgin Pulse brand in the US. Kuunda Pakistan is going to be a joint venture between Nima Exponential, our local partner, and Kuunda Holdings, our holding company out of the UK. We're in essence a B2B liquidity provider. So we work across agent networks. So you think of OneLoad, which is a bill payment aggregator. They've got 60,000 retailers. They need to buy float every day. They often run out of float. We solve that float gap. So we do float financing. We also have a sort of working capital facility for them. We then also work closely with sort of the rising, emerging digital e-commerce players, the retailers of the world. We've got stock financing solutions for them. So when their retailers don't have enough capital to buy stock, we'll help them buy more. And we've got digital models that deal with how we pay for goods or liquidity and how we would get repaid for the product. And then the final product is a consumer-based product, which also allows a consumer on a mobile wallet, if they have run out of float and they need to send money to mum and they don't have enough in their wallet to do it, we'll let them go into negative balance. Our job is to say, how do we take you from 7 or 3 or 4 to 5 or 6? And then if you keep using us, you'll grow your business or you'll get more liquidity. You can then grow it over time. So we're doing very, very nano solutions. One of our products is a 1-day facility. The other is structured as a 7, 14 and 30-day facility. So it's really around understanding the needs of the customer at a liquidity level and then using digital solutions through our channel partners to give them that liquidity. Pakistan is an amazing market at this point in time. It's at a digital. It's digitizing incredibly fast. It's incredibly cash-based, so the need to digitize is there. So it's a really, really interesting market for our types of products. The traditional world would have been compromised. You have to go into banks. You have to get access to services, that sort of stuff. So, and the need for the people in that formal sector were locked down and everything. So the world did shut down at that level. The informal sector carried on and it had to carry on. Liquidity became more constrained in our world, so float liquidity in particular. So we actually were one of the few companies that grew sort of 60% during the early phases of COVID. We just shot through the roof because agents were still trading in markets, customers still needed to send money digitally, but there was no float. The banks were shut. Getting access to rebalancing was compromised, so they had to draw down on our product. So we were very, very fortunate that we were able to service the agents that needed us, and it just sort of accelerated through the digital transition of our product. But on the whole, if you weren't in the digital space from a financial services point of view, it would have been a constrained environment like most industries. The cash-based world will digitize, no doubt about it. But there's phases of that digitization, and cash is going to be around for a very long time. So you've got to, in our minds, if you take Pakistan for example, hugely cash-based. 1% of your sort of $40 trillion revenue is electronic. The rest is cash. The first step is how do you convert the the retailers and the customers from being comfortable with cash to going electronic. And that takes a bit of time. The tech to solve it has been done in many countries, so the tech isn't the problem. A lot of it is, what are the use cases that come into the market that will accelerate the adoption of digital solutions? And then there's also the time-based factor of trust. So you've got to let users experience it, you've got to have a use case that works for them, and then once they use it once or twice or 5 or 6 times, they'll start the adoption. And I think Pakistan is at the start of that journey. So the need to digitize is there without a doubt. The companies that will be successful will digitize the use cases which solve the end user's problem the best, which is an exciting time to come into a market. What we do have is we've got 2 years of learnings remotely via the COVID experience, but having the NEEM team on the ground, we've got an incredibly strong starting team in Kuunda Pakistan. CEO was started yesterday, Joel, and we've got Zaim. Both have worked in Africa in mobile money and local Pakistani, so they've come home. So we've built out a very, very strong team. And I think the potential for Kuunda Pakistan is we've obviously got OneLoad as a partner now. There's a real potential for Kuunda Pakistan to have 8 to 10 partners, multiple banks being part of the solution. And that's really sort of positioning ourselves as the embedded liquidity finance partner for the digitization that's happening.